could spark a little romance. Secret 7, motivation. Motivation always trumps talent. So many people have so much talent, maybe ourselves included, but we don't live up to our full potential. One of the key ingredients that typically is missing is motivation. And you say, well, motivation is elusive. I mean, it's not like you can flip a switch and say, hey, brain, get motivated on something you hate, right? It's easy to be motivated when you're doing something you're passionate about. Well, one of the secrets to motivation is using some of these other strategies. Think about a task that you don't like, and what if I said, I want you to take this task and innovate a little bit. Why don't you change it and make it a little bit more interesting? If you get the person to put some brain in the game, they're going to get motivated. Innovation fuels motivation. Motivation injects in our brain the most powerful neurotransmitter, dopamine. Dopamine in the right balance makes us happier, and it increases speed of learning. Motivation is the fuel that makes you make the impossible possible. 30 years, I now know that our brain can do so many things that we aren't doing. My dream is that every single person put their brain at the front of their life. You need to realize that you are the driver and you are the mechanic of the most powerful engine in the whole world. What a responsibility. Take these 7 secrets and supercharge your brain. Because without brain health, you do not have health. Thank you.
Alright, dedicate this song to anybody who's trying to cause harm to the human race via magic, via anything. Understand, my focused energy and mental magic is coming for you, bitches. Woo! Alright, sorry about that. I just wanted to, Anyways, happy birthday to me! It's the 11th of May! I turned 34, and I feel like a whore. Anyways, so, a couple videos ago I was saying, funny enough, I turned 34, and that's 7 being Saturn's number, and today, May 11th, is the day that Saturn goes retrograde in the sign of, I can't remember now. I don't know if it's Aquarius or not, but anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. It happens on my birthday, but you know, you can always look at your birthday and see what's going on, and there's always going to be something pretty much cool going on, an interpretation that you could take from something, somewhere, rather, or other, and that's what the people say about astrology when they try to fucking say astrology doesn't mean shit, and you know, this is not my, I got this from the Divine Venus there, Alyssa, who is awesome at interpreting shit. She says that Aquarius has to do with groups and the internet, and groups, and Saturn is restrictions. So what's happening right now? Well, we are being restricted. Groups are being restricted to, you have to be self-isolated. Everybody has to be by themselves. What happens when Saturn goes retrograde? Well, kind of like the opposite. We can lift some of the restrictions. Like I said before, Saturn is in my 7th house, which is the marriage house, which normally they say to not get married before 30 because you most likely get divorced. However, if your Saturn is in retrograde, then it's not so intense because Saturn is more of a maleficent planet than a benefit planet, right? He's got more bad than good, or perceivably. However, when things are retrograde, well, then you get the opposite effect. So if Saturn's normally, when he's going straight, more bad than good, well, then when he's retrograde, he's more good than bad. Kind of like Mercury. Mercury's more of a benefit planet, gives you intellect, insight, good, communication and stuff like that, depending on how he's placed. And, once again, if it's got things opposing it, then it could be going straight, and you would say, well, my Mercury is not well placed. Well, no, it's because something else is fucking it up. But when it goes retrograde, everybody talks about how Mercury retrograde sucks and their phone always breaks. And, I was one of those people too, so I really understood what was going on, or so I think anyways. But, it's one of those things where if a planet is more good than bad, then you're going to have more benefits whenever it's going straight. And when it goes retrograde, well, then you're going to have more detriments. And, that's how it kind of works. So Saturn is now retrograde, and we see things being lifted, things getting better, things not being so intense lately. So that's a good thing, I guess, more or less. This fucking guy. That's alright, bud. You do that. I'll just park here then. Sorry about that. Shut you off, though, now. Alright, if you're wondering why the camera is going upside down, obviously you can probably tell I'm driving. So I got the camera in the steering wheel, so it doesn't fly across the dashboard. It's working pretty good too, I think. It's kind of fucked though when you're trying to pay attention and the fucking thing's going upside down and shit. But anyways, so the brain, the neocortex, flexor cortex. Among many videos like that I've watched to learn an introductory version of how to understand and interpret and use the brain. I really enjoy those kind of videos for some reason, because I really like finding the correspondences to magic, I guess. But everything in what she says is super beneficial, I think. I've always told my wife that we are not meant to multitask. And she doesn't believe that's true. Maybe she does now. I played that video out loud a bunch of times in the house just to prove my point. Kind of a dick move by me once again, but anyways. But yeah, so when you can focus on one thing at a time, this is what I mean. When you add let's not multitask, let's point our mind in one direction, such as a topic, such as maybe interpreting the neocortex, or interpreting what's going on with coronavirus, or whatever. And then you do the you shut off all these incoming sources, right? So you're looking up one thing, you look up that one thing, and you don't try to watch TV at the same time as you look at something up, and you don't try to read a book or do dishes. Well, maybe not do dishes, but you know what I mean? And then you do the big idea thinking. The reason I love doing this, I love coming on here and saying stuff, whether it's videos, whether it's a podcast, whatever. The act of me just coming on and letting the ideas flow through me, and then my brain having to interpret it and put it together to make some kind of coherent sense for you guys, is something that gives me more joy and gives me more energy and gets me more excited than anything else. And once again, this is one of those ones that I didn't understand completely until watching what that girl had to say. And she says there's nothing your brain loves to do more than that. Then the big idea thinking is like fuel for the brain. It's like neurons. It's the neurons firing, and I don't remember exactly her description of it, but every time I listen to it, I get a better interpretation of it, and I can't fucking remember any of them right now, but the point is, that's part of what I'm doing right now. Whether you do it writing down at home in a book, whether you're thinking of these things, whether maybe it's through meditation, these things are happening to you, whatever the case is, this big idea thinking really fucking helps your brain. And like I said, I could be in a shitty mood. Now, if I'm in a shitty mood, like just thought-wise, like my mind's not going, you know, maybe I'm just in a dull mood. Let's start over. Let's say dull mood. So my emotions are all pissed off because something bad happened. I'm not going to come on here and record because I know everything will be tainted by that. So I don't bother even trying that. I got to wait till those emotional forces in the limbic brain, the deities of our time and age or of our entire world, kind of pass on and stop fucking having their hold on me. Which, because I'm depolarized, they don't have quite as big of a hold, and it doesn't take as long, but it still does, you know, I still am affected by it. But nonetheless, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I come on here and I record something, because most of the time, I'm having a hard time putting this into words. I can, after I record something, I feel like a fucking $1,000,000. I feel great. I listen to it a few times. I feel really great. I love it. I almost like listening to myself more than somebody else, which is dangerous because I don't want to fall in love with my own ideals, my own beliefs, because that could be a problem too. So I really got to find that fine line of, you know, what am I saying is beneficial and what am I saying am I just falling in love with my own ego and my own fucking ideas and thoughts and shit like that. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to get at is, if I don't put out a video and I feel like I need to, and my brain is just bombarded with all these things, and then my brain's constantly telling me, you gotta put something out, you gotta make something, and I just decide to kibosh the whole thing and say, no, I'm not gonna do it today because it's pissing me off. Once I do that, I get a little bit of relief. But if I do decide to go record, you know, and then assuming everything works out right, which it normally does, I feel so much better. But my brain looks for this so bad, wants me to come out here and do this big idea thinking, because it helps my brain, because it's good for my brain so much that, you know what I mean, it almost forces me to do it now. And that could feel like a pull to, I have to record, you know, my brain's telling me to go record, my brain's telling me I gotta get this information out. This could be perceived as I have to help humanity, but really it's just beneficial to my brain likes that, you know. Anything that's good for you can become an addiction, just like anything bad for you can become an addiction. How many people get addicted to working out once they start working out? They want to just keep working out. Just like gambling, you win once and it's like, ooh, you know, that fucking feeling could come over. Like doing dope. Now, it's a little bit different, but still, reward system. Dopamine release, you know what I mean? You get that right balance of that whenever you, same thing, when you start dishing out information, when you start thinking big, when you try to take what you learn from either TED Talks or fucking occult books, and then you add correspondences and real life fucking interpretations of your life. You do that, and like, you're getting this reward system. You're getting a dopamine release. It's like a fucking high. Everything breaks down to a fucking high, and this is why I say, you know, there's a lot of correlations and links between people that have addictions and shit like that and the spiritual community, because, you know, what are we trying to do in the spiritual community? Well, we're trying to help people. We're trying to figure things out. Well, what are people on drugs doing? Well, same thing. They can't get this dopamine release on their own, so they're trying to fucking do it themselves. But I'm not trying to make a doorway and say it's good for you or whatever, but, you know, I'm just fucking talking right now because I've been I worked 10:30 to 7 a.m. last night. And then I came home and I slept from 10 to fucking 2. So it's about 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, something like that. 10, 11, 11, 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2. Yeah, 4 hours of sleep. And then I woke up, fucked around for a little bit, and now I'm here. But I just wanted to come on here and say something, and I'm trying to get my brain warmed up, you know. First 2 hours when you wake up is supposed to be the best time to do shit. And it's supposed to be the time where you don't touch your fucking phone. We'll get into that maybe down the road a little bit, but I think I still do that myself. But anyways, I don't even know we're going to put this on. I'm just kind of babbling now. But I'm going to be coming on here, and I'm going to be going through some of the shit I left open, and I want to close it. And I really want to go through these brain hacks and tell you a little bit more about how they work and how they're good. I'm getting stuck on the big idea thinking, so I'm just going to shut it down. I'm going to come back and collect my thoughts. Get the fuck over here.
This